set to begin. BMG on the blue, Dino Riders on the red. With having been lost, they get that side choice, so hopefully they have a strategy to come in with it. Richter, Teamy immediately taken away. That Teamy is not going to get in the hands of BMG.
Well, that Teamy ban is incredibly warranted, but at the same time, you now have to consider the fact that Richter was banned, but Lindis Rourke was the ban's last game coming through from BMGaming. This time around, they have to change themselves up a little bit, and that might come into play later on when they're trying to get these picks.
BMGaming also had a very obvious win condition in game number 1. You were talking about that. You said that they needed to play more deliberate AoV. Part of that deliberate AoV was they knew exactly what Neo was playing. They drafted the Morin for it. And the second they had that, then the entire game revolved around them getting the Morin fed up and playing with it, using that to chunk down towers. I want to see something along those lines again for BMGaming.
Ding, ding, ding. You get the gold star.
Hoon once again on that Zephyra, just phenomenal player on that character. I do not get why it's given to him once again. I don't think Teamy was that hard of a threat. I think Zephyra was.
And that seems to be the hover and needs to be the immediate lock-in there for the Dino Riders. They also have Varus available. Remember, we do have Varus that actually fell down to the second phase. She did get banned away by Dino Riders in game number 1 on that 4th ban. However, hopefully, Dino Riders can see that she does not need to be falling down any further. Instead, they say, no, sorry about you,
potential for Telanus here? Because it was banned last game on the 2nd phase. And Telanus is something Dino Riders have run previously as well. I would like to see Telanus, or at least for them to pick up Telanus.
This Alistar would be weird because Alistar is normally pulled out as an answer to dive, and BMGaming don't really have a predilection to do that. They tend to play more ranged and poke-focused characters, particularly on basic.
If you lock down Zephyra, she cannot use Tides of Life. So that is a kind of a direct counter.
But I also don't. I think it's too early for the Alistar as well because Zephyra was first pick. Yeah, you can essentially go for the Lindis. You can also flex Zephyra into the support position if you so choose.
And also, Zephyra is so long-ranged, there's no reason for a Zephyra ever to be in range of an Alistar.
No.
You're going to need to do some cheeky, like, flicker ulting in order to lock it down.
Lindis, Omen locked in for BMG, so they get themselves a jungler. They get themselves a very strong side laner to go into the hands of TH in that top side of the map. Now, final pick in the first phase for Dino Riders.
I'd say it's going to be on side laner coming through from Dino Riders. It has to be, because that's going to equalize the playing field in terms of what's being picked right now in this pick phase. In the last game as well, we had both teams picking one of the side laners up here in the early on. And that is Telanus.
I like it. I don't like it, because BMGaming will just run this Lindis in jungle, and I believe Lindis is one of the best jungles currently available, and that Lindis jungle will absolutely destroy the Telanus in a 1v1 into the mid game. That Lindis jungle will absolutely trash the Alistar because he outranges him. I think this draft may as well be over unless Dino Riders pull out something weird and unexpected for their frontline dive.
You're incredibly negative today.
I am a very negative Nancy.
You need to have some faith in the plan of Dino Riders.
All right, what's the plan?
Well, for now, they're going to be looking at kind of, as I said, Alistar's going to be looking to shut down Zephyra or lock him down, and that's going to be trying to defend Telanus. And Telanus is going to be there with the Arrow of Chaos, as well as Eagle Eye stacks just going to town from way back.
That's a lot of CC-reliant defense, though. In order to stay safe, these members need to land perfect stuns. And normally, especially with an Alistar, I'm in favor of that, because Alistar has a lot of stuns to do that with. But in this specific matchup, they're not defending against dive so far. They're defending against the ranged damage, the sustained teamfight capacity of BMGaming. That's harder to do.
So for now, Dino Riders, they need to have a solid team composition coming through, because they need a Ryoma in the jungle, and they need a side laner that's also a tank, because otherwise they will not have the front line.
Kriknak taken away by BMG, as well as the Superman. Final ban coming out here for the Dino Riders to potentially reduce the side lane pool yet again. They have banned 2 of the 5 heroes that BMG played in that last game, so we know that there are going to have to be some adjustments still left to be made.
Dino Riders have run some weird things in the past. They like to experiment. They were the ones that pulled out Sprint Arthur and won with it. So if we're going to see something weird,
winning with it.
Yeah,
I would say Ryoma wouldn't be weird for Dino Riders.
No, I don't think they'll get Ryoma though, because I think the Ryoma is very obviously...
Oh, Varus is open. So max ban is potential for Varus to be picked up by BMGaming unless it goes to Dino Riders. Because BMGaming is still...
Max.
BMGaming is still missing one of the side laners.
Yeah, TH likes Max though, so this may be him banning out with the idea
Himself?
that... This may be him banning out with the idea that Max was about to be run and he wants to play one of its counters in that top lane.
Back and forth. Remember, Ryoma still left alive. Kilgroth seems to be a little bit of the hover, as well as the Irie.
I'm gonna say Ryoma. They need Ryoma right now.
Yeah, they need the stun, they need the damage, the early game power. 18 seconds still left remaining, though, so lots of decision-making still left for Dino Riders.
Okay, so if they get this Ryoma, I don't think it's the worst thing. I do agree that it's the best standard pick they can come up with, but I would be disappointed because I don't think it's what they need. I think they need something special that I haven't thought of yet in order to dive that Lindis, and it looks like they go for a Zephyrs, which isn't that.
Well, Zephyrs is still an incredibly good pick into this team composition because Zephyrs is the tanky front line that they need, but also Zephyrs works wonders in the jungle.
Baldum locked in, which means we will see Sephira in the hands of Hoon in the mid lane. Now, we need one more, a side laner, and what do you know? You're going to leave Varus open, we're going to take her.
I don't believe. I'm sorry. No. I have zero faith in Dino Riders.
But as I said, the Max, I'm pretty sure BMGaming was paying attention today because they saw the Max having such a huge impact up against Varus, had to have been a counter ban up against a specific character. Even though it was kind of a one-off deal in the game before today, I think they still took note, and because of that, they went and backed Max.
Yeah,
now,
it was like I was hypothesizing. He wanted to play a thing that Max countered in the top lane. TH does get that Varus eventually, and now he's looking to, I think, sweep up the game, because so much of the Dino Riders' defense is based around them landing stuns, and there's so much ranged poke from BM.
Zill's going in the jungle, back into the hands of Hawaii, and now that also means that we're going to have Yikes on Zephys.
That's going to be Dragon Lane Zephyrs then, which is all right. We've seen it before, but of course that was pre-patch, so it wasn't actually the power farm Dragon Lane yet.
It's not Dragon Lane Zephyrs, it's going to be Dragon Lane Tau. It's going to be Zephyrs up against Varus up top.
If they keep it like that, that would be a player swap.
It's going to be Omen versus Zephyrs matchup on top.
If they keep it like that, that would be a player swap, because Zeus typically plays in the top lane.
Yeah, but
so
Tell is
the only reason why I would believe it would be different is because Yikes plays Tell historically. So the only reason in my head they would do that is if they were specifically targeting lanes. You may very well be right, and they're just swapping players for some reason, but that would be weird.
I would say it doesn't make any sense to run Tell on top.
I would agree.
We're not saying that anything that Dino Riders are doing right now is of a practical fashion.
If you're right, they've swapped players from their historical mains in order to do, for no logical reason, because they have players that play those characters in the opposite lanes.
That's a curveball.
If I'm right, the curveball is that they're randomly playing Talanos up at the top lane. Either way, it's unnecessarily weird.
Weird indeed. But BMG, however, still find themselves with quite the successful composition. They find themselves with two of the strongest heroes that are currently in Arena of Valor as it stands. But gentlemen, our final game of the day, our final game of week number 5 between BMG and Dino Riders is set to begin.
As we are headed into the game here, both of these teams taking a little bit of a defensive posture. Last game we saw both of these teams going aggressive. This time around, completely different picture.
And I would like to acknowledge, it is the player swap rather than the character swap. Zeus will be down in the bottom lane, and it will be the Yikes. It will be Yikes taking the top lane.
Yeah, so it is Telanus on the Dragon lane. Oh, what happened there? Everybody's low.
I don't know.
Is the river really that deep? Does it deal damage?
They're wearing armor. You just kind of sink in, trying to swim.
I mean, I guess. Both of them back away at the same time, so neither of them lose anything off of this kind of a skirmish.
Neither of them lose lane farm at all. And I will say, what is this map? That reflect defense shows and finally gets caught out. Trap will be stunned up, though.
Yeah, there was totem toss coming through, and the ultimate from Hawaii for good measure. Chosen does get the kill as the Net and Dino Riders, they once again start off strong, but they need to keep going strong.
So I would like to log. Zeus looks remarkably uncomfortable down in the bot lane. You could see him playing that kind of weird. The Talon is currently behind in lane farm. I'm not sure why they've done that. I will be fully honest. The only thing I can think of is that Zeus has more experience playing into Varus, who is in the bot lane for BMGaming, and they just wanted to leverage that.
Could it be the fact that maybe Zeus is more comfortable on Telonis?
No, Yikes has played more Talon us.
Are you absolutely sure
Yes.
about this? As we do have Abyssal Dragon being taken down by the side of Dino Riders as BMGaming is getting initiated on Dino Riders. They continue their good run right now with 2-0 the scoreline and 1 Abyssal Dragon in their pockets.
Yikes has played more Talanas in this season. I suppose that may just be a this season thing.
Well, Yikes does get taken out. Basic is going to be credited for the kill. And just like last game, Dino Riders had a good start. They need to hold on. They cannot let go right now.
No, this is a rough sign for Dino Riders because BMGaming were able to press in and take out Yikes. Their gamble kind of for that second tank in the top lane isn't paying off.
Zeus, meanwhile, down at the bottom side of the map is farming up as that Telonis. If there is any player that needs to get that farm, it's going to be Telonis going into the late game phase. He's going to be the pinnacle for Dino Riders.
That's kind of their secret. That's kind of their secret weapon, is that Dino Riders will, in an ideal world, have Zeus hyper-farmed in the mid-late game, able to carry on the Telenas. That's the power of the Tel, but it's not one we often see. And I think BMGaming out-farm it because they have the Lindis coming through from Basic, which does so much once it's able to get ahead in the jungle.
So now that Alistair is a level 4, I would like Alistair to actually start roaming around, taking these kills, helping out with the Magic Prison, unlocking down different characters for Hawaii to gank them.
Your wish appears to be CLZ's command. He's hanging out with Hawaii, and they want to get into these aggressive pushes in mid from the looks of things.
Yeah, they need to get the rotation going here on Hoon.
Yikes up top got in a lot of trouble real fast. Look at that rotate up. Basic is playing very aggressive for BMGaming. They were looking for a pick up top.
Well, Hoon's going to be ganked down at the bottom side of the map. Shozen's going to throw down the cost, but it's not going to... Oh, the ultimate's going to displace BMGaming. What a fantastic play. Neo jumps in with the Venom, but it's not going to be enough as Zeus is credited for the kill. And now Farm starts racking up on that Tel. Gets stunned up under towers. A little bit of a misplay.
And TH all the while is able to duel down Yikes. That's an excellent death beacon. He'll get the kill if Yikes isn't able to make it out.
Oh, well, that's a really good death beacon coming through. Bottom lane tower has gone down into the favor of Dino Riders, and Abyssal Dragon is up for grabs as well if Dino Riders so as well choose to go for it.
It looks like they will. That was an incredibly good start for Dino Riders. And actually, I speak too soon. They withdraw. That gets dangerous. The mid lane tower did fall during that time to BMGaming, which means that they're able, theoretically, to pressure more towards this Abyssal early on. Dino Riders ceding that opportunity has cost them a lot.
It has. And now that BMGaming is ahead in terms of gold, once again, it's looking grim for Dino Riders. They need to get these kills going, but not when CLZ gets caught out. There's going to be the bloody kiss coming through. CLZ flickers over the wall, but there's no escaping Hoon on that Zephyro, who's had a fantastic series thus far over the course of 2 days. Hoon is once again in the midst of enemies. Tides of Life has been popped, and BMGaming's looking for the fight. The auto attacks keep landing because Basic is not being focused down. Shozen is going to be on the run. Neo flickers forward, doesn't get the stun. Lunar Champion for good measure, but Shozen gets away.
Beautifully done, and that was what I was worried about. Basic rolls through into the fight, says, hey, I've been farming this whole time, and I hear that there's a wheat field for me to plow.
Yeah, 3-0 and 0 now the scoreline for him, and that's going to be a devastating thing to have. You're going to have full-fed Lindis up against you. Lindis is level 10 up against level 8s and 7s, as we are going to have a gank coming through. 5 members of BMGaming securing that kill there, and the tower as well. That's a couple of objectives going into their pockets in quick succession.
CLZ having a rough game.
Yeah.
This is 0-2 and 3. He did land a good magic barrier or magic prison earlier, but ever since then, every time he's dedicated himself to a lane, there's just been full rush down from BM because they have so much mobility.
Yeah, that's the only problem that I saw in the draft as well, was the fact that Alistair is a little bit immobile. That's why the pick doesn't make much sense. Although I was trying to be positive that he can lock down people, he doesn't have the mobility currently.
That's a lot of pressure in the jungle here for BMGaming, and Dino Riders are trying to counter that by giving more farm over to Zeus, taking what monsters they can onto any player, because they know any gold that gets picked up now matters so much more that it just gets to their team rather than a specific player.
Yeah, that gold going into their pockets means a whole lot of difference when we are progressing further in this game. Now 7 minutes in, we do have a 4,000 gold difference in the favor of BMGaming. That's gonna be a big lead.
And it's particularly devastating because of Basic doing all this damage.
Oh, Zeus does go down. Hoon gets the kill for that one, and Hoon has been a part of 6 of the team's 7 kills. Hoon has basically rotated across the map to help his team out.
And that was what he did game number 1 as well. His Sephira play has been lethal. This was something we've been highlighting quite a lot as of late. Sephira being able to contribute to these fights because of the speed of her rotation. She can spam that water wall and just fly across the map.
That is definitely a playstyle that Hoon has perfected, and why I wanted to see Sephira banned in the second game, but Dino Riders thought they had an answer to this. The question is, do they really? Because now they need to prove that in the late game, as TH is going to be jumping in. There's Death Embrace coming through, and Jikes gets locked down. Basic once again credited for the kill, 5-0-1, and the tower for good measure.
Nicely done, and continued pressure from BMGaming. Again, this is some good, clean AoV. Not something we've seen in a while from them, but they're playing very, very standard American AoV for this. That means focusing down the Dark Slayer after you get the tower pressure. They know there's no way for Dino Riders to contest, so they're starting to bully them.
Neo's gonna go forward there, still lockdown coming through from Alistair. ZLZ is having a good game, the Wild Prison's gonna be off target. Chaos Terror was popped as well, and it did connect, but didn't have enough damage.
That's what I mean by bullying. They know at this point it's almost impossible for Neo to fall, so they're sending Neo forward to steal away individual jungle farm because they know that the worst case he gets locked down and they can save him.
Yeah, that is something to keep in mind, as now with the Abyssal Dragon buff as well as the Drake going onto the top lane, this might spell disaster and the end of days for Dino Riders.
And again, very good, clean American AoV from BMGaming. They fall back, they lick their wounds, knowing they have the time on this Dark Slayer. The most important thing they need to do now, though, is push with it. Yes, it's here. Defend it, that's what TH is doing. Send the rest of your players elsewhere in order to gain pressure in the two mid and bottom lanes.
Yeah, they're diverting the attention of the members of Dino Riders, as TH is going to be on the sidelines there. Shows being locked down by Death Embrace coming through. Triumph does not jump over the wall. Hawaii staying around, but the top lane has been noticed by the side of Dino Riders. The Drake has been taken down, and that's a wasted opportunity on that side of BMGaming.
A little bit of a slip up from BMGaming. For the duration of the Drake being summoned, your minions are a little bit more powerful, so normally you like to see a lot more pressure come out during that time.
That is a really a brave jump forward by Hawaii, as we do have a magic barrier coming through in Alistair, forcing Triumph to back off just a little bit.
But they still get the pressure thanks to what they did during that time. The Drake allowed BMGaming to get very far forward and start to wheedle their way into the Dino Riders lines. Now they convert on that taking. It should be 2 towers here.
Yeah, it should be 2 towers indeed, as they do get the second tier 2 in the middle as well. That's all the outer towers gone from the side of Dino Riders. If there's any chance of them doing anything, they need to hold on inside their base for a long time, and that's not something BMGaming is looking to give them.
No, BMGaming want to get this game over with ASAP. That's why Basic converts the Enraged Abyssal, their second buff in a few minutes. This is, again, very clean AoV, far cry from the mistakes we've seen in the past from BM, where they've gotten overconfident, maybe gone for a team fight under tower they didn't need to. Instead, they get the Abyssal and play back. Even in a worst-case scenario where they get nothing done with this Abyssal Dragon buff, they've guaranteed there's no opportunity for Dino Riders to get back into the game while they're resetting their HPs in minion wave.
The thing is, right now, BMGaming are ahead. They need to keep the pressure on Dino Riders. They cannot let Dino Riders get out of the base and get that farm for free, as they are right now.
Yeah, and that's exactly what BMGaming are aware of. They push forward, TH steals the mic buff. They're very sure that they have the timings on the enemy jungle locked down.
The Specken is going to be missed by TH on the top side of the map. Was looking to lock down Yikes there, but was off target just a little bit. Now BMGaming, they have to wait for that to come up, unless they want to take a fight right here, right now. Actually, Hoon's going to be focused down. TH is going to go low. Yikes jumps in, but he gets out. Chosen is low HP. The Wild Prison and a pause coming through at the perfect moment. 3, 2, as we are going to progress back into the fight. Dino Riders are gonna back away. Same goes for BMGaming, as both of them are gonna heal up. I take that back. Zeus has a say about that. He's gonna go in basic with those auto attacks, and Lunar Champions flying across the map, dealing a lot of damage to Zeus.
That is maybe the perfect timing for a legal pause, because that was like the millisecond in between two engagements, so there wasn't a team fight going. That definitely was a little bit sketch, BM. It's all right. They don't dominate the fight. Dino Riders do manage to get a little bit of damage off of it, scaring back TH, and it's a positive trade for them because they've held on for a little bit longer.
A little bit of a tactical pause there. Hold on, guys. We need to figure out how we're going to fight this one out. Give us a second.
I appreciate the idea, but also I just like to acknowledge that my thumbs aren't nearly fast enough to pause like that. I just appreciate the mechanical skill, even in things like that.
Well,
BMGaming do have a moment to reset now. Because they lost TH, they need to play this smart. The next objective they should be considering is this Dark Slayer, but they now need to start worrying about Dino Riders, because Dino Riders have had a while to be back in their base gaining farm. Oh, if they don't lose a player here, they might be able to start to turn the tables.
Yeah, it's going to be on the run. The Arrow of Chaos was off mark, so Zeus does whiff that one. That's a big part of the next fight that's going to be coming on, as Basic comes in with the tread softly. Has a lot of damage. ZLZ has felt the blunt of it with those Lunar Champion stacks. It didn't even pop, so ZLZ hasn't taken a full amount of damage. Magic Barrier has been activated to jump in. That's from above there, and somehow Dino Riders, they're doing it. Triumph has gone down. TH on the lockdown. Basic is still full HP as that Lindis, but finally Dino Riders, they're going to give the chase going. BMGaming have lost 2 members, which means they're gonna back away, and Dino Riders, they hold on for dear life.
A beautiful engage comes through from Yikes in Hawaii, stalling out the front line so Zeus can do the damage. The pure stun composition pays off. Now though, their only way back into this game is this Dark Slayer, and BMGaming know this just as well.
Lindis as well as Zephyr on the sidelines, but they do not scout this one happening. They were expecting Dino Riders to come through the middle opening there, but they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't have the vision on them. I thought they were waiting for an opportunity to pounce out, but they completely missed the vision, and Dino Riders are able to steal away that Dark Slayer and slip back into the night. They might not be able to do anything with the Dark Slayer buff, but it almost doesn't matter, because taking it away from BMGaming ensures that they will survive for a moment longer.
Yeah, and as the minutes progress here, the goal difference will start to matter less and less, because BMGaming is slowly starting to hit their peaks. We see Omen is 6 slotted out. He cannot get stronger than he is right now. Same goes for Lindis. Lindis is full capped. She cannot get stronger. So the longer the game goes on, Dino Riders will progressively get better, because nobody's 6 slotted just yet.
And I'd like to acknowledge that Dino Riders are doing an incredibly good job right now. They're acknowledging kind of their weakness, slipping back, playing defense, saying we need to extend this game as long as possible. And the #1 way to do that is to push wave and not do anything risky. The Drake will be summoned inside the base at the very last moment. It can be that Zeus predicting a fight.
Chosen is going to be locked down just for a little bit there, but you can see with the last couple of fights, Dino Riders have struck fear amongst the hearts of BMGaming. Hoon with the Tides of Life being popped there means that they're a little bit scared to take the next upcoming fight.
They're almost at max level on both sides. The lead that BMGaming held on to for so long is starting to shrink. That's why they played this so safe, so slow. They're not going to go for a team fight until they have the enraged Abyssal Dragon and the after effects of the... they're pushing.
They see Omen up top, which means BMGaming is going to be split up. Triumph is going to be there, and he's going to get locked down. Alistair is going to get a good one. That's a Wild Prison on the 3. Gets the stun, the spin as well. That's going to matter. Hawaii jumps up the basic, doesn't get the kill. Somehow, Dino Riders, they lose a fight outnumbered. injured. They are absolutely demolished there as now Yikes trying to deal whatever he can, but it's not gonna be enough. BMGaming, they clutch it out in a fantastic manner. What a spectacle of a play coming through.
Triumph with the wild present saves the team
Wow.
fight. That was beautiful from Dino Riders. They did a lot of things right, and it did not matter.
Well,